Good evening with your CIGTV News Update. I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush. In today's top story, the Royal Cayman Islands Police issued an impressive number of tickets in June. A press release published earlier this morning said 152 drivers were ticketed for illegal tint. This brought the two-month total for May and June to 323. Meanwhile, last month, police issued 263 tickets for speeding, bringing combined numbers for May and June to 546. In June, a further 26 tickets were issued for dangerous driving, 41 for careless driving, 67 for using a mobile phone while driving, and also 24 arrests were made for driving under the influence. Along with speeding and drunk driving, illegal tint remains an area of focus for police. Officials say it affects the safety of road users, facilitates crime, and interferes with police officers' ability to respond to situations. In other news, details of government's plans for Smith's Barcadere were revealed last night. On Tuesday evening, Councillor Barbara Connolly, MLA, chaired a town hall meeting at the South Sound Community Centre. There she shared the designs for enhancements to the public beach, including a new car park, restroom facilities and cabanas. Most of these improvements will be located on a piece of neighbouring land that government acquired back in 2016. Ms. Connolly outlined how the changes will benefit the community.
We want to own this. We don't want this to be a dark park. We want this to be a South Church Street. We want this to be a South Sound Park. So I think we have to all just take ownership of this and be a part of this development. And this can be our legacy. The people of South Sound, the people of Georgetown, this is what we need. We really need to have somewhere that we can call our own, because believe it or not, I mean, there's not a whole lot of beaches that we can go to now, and we as residents can really go there and enjoy with our families.
A lively question and answer session followed presentations by the councillor, the Smith's Barcadere Committee, and government officials. During this stage of the meeting, Ms. Connolly further noted that government would be considering a number of safety features for the area.
Well, in the plan there is a male and female restroom along with the shower. So that is provided in the plan. In terms of lifeguards, I know that's a crucial issue, and most of us are aware that that's needed on all of our beaches, or at least the main public beaches. Now that's a huge expense, but that's something we're going to have to deal with or consider at some point in time. If not, certainly the lifeguard, the rings, have them accessible somewhere around. So in the case of an emergency or whatever, somebody can grab a ring and save a life if that's the case.
And in our final story, Councillor Austin Harris recently sat down with CIGTV to share his thoughts on the recent meeting of the Legislative Assembly.
I thought it was an extremely productive session. We reviewed over 14 different laws, made a number of significant amendments to those laws, which we believe at the end of the day will make lives better for the citizens of the Cayman Islands going forward. Some of the amendments are final in the sense that this perhaps will be the last time we'll be making amendments to those laws. Other amendments, particular to border security, others to immigration, some to both the traffic law and others, will be ongoing. Things such as the liquor licensing law will also feature further reviews and revisions in the longer term. But in total, I think we accomplished a great deal in 3 days.
As always, if you missed today's news update, you can get all the details on our Facebook and YouTube pages. And of course, don't forget to tune in to Radio Cayman's For the Record and Talk Today shows. I'm Simon Boxall. Good night, and thanks for watching.
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips.
Did you know that a trellis structure requires planning permission? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.